The Silver Good morning, good afternoon, and or good evening, racing fans. Welcome to the season finale of Season 16 Odyssey of GT America's Pros, AMs, and Rookies. My name is Christian Julian. I also go by Koju here, and we have an excellent little pre-show here for you tonight. As you can maybe tell by the track map going on our screens, we are at Mount Panorama, also known as Bathurst. Located in Bathurst, New South Wales, Australia. This 6.2 kilometer, also 3.86 freedom miles for you mile enjoyers out there. 23 corners. It's going to be an excellent battle for the championship, actually, for a couple of divisions tonight, as we go to a quick track map walkthrough to get a quick glimpse at the race tonight. So we're going to be starting on the right hand side, going in a counterclockwise fashion. Coming out of turn 1 hell corner, they're going to go down a little bit down and then up the mountain straight up into Quarry Bend. Then it gets into the hard part after the cutting, and then through Solomon Park, through McPhilman Park. After they hit Skyline, they'll be going down the mountain through the Dipper, hitting Forest Elbow, hitting that back straight known as Hagner Straight, until they bunch up there into the chase, and then end off the lap there at Murray's Corner. Now, we've had some incredible action here at Odyssey Racing League GT Americas. We did have our after hours that finished off this Tuesday. That's usually held at 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We have GT Americas, which is on Thursdays at 9 p.m. Eastern. And we do also hold the GT Europe on Sundays at 8 p.m. CEST. We are in the final round for Season 16, as we can see there. What an incredible journey Season 16 has been for the drivers, starting off at Suzuka with a 1-hour sprint, then flying their way to Spain, taking on the incredibly challenging Valencia. Then moving on over to Great Britain there for round 3 at Snetterton. Round 4 was Hungaroring in the wet. Moving back over to the UK for Brands Hatch, and now for round 6. It's going to be a 45-minute sprint at the semi-hot, really sunny Mount Panorama. As we move on over to qualifying, it has already begun. We do have a 21-minute full qualifying session split up in between the rookies and our Pro-Am drivers. Right now, on our screen, the number 169 Lamborghini, driven by Robbie Sort of Asian, in provisional pole 2. The only person above him right now is Josh Rodriguez in the Screaming Honda. That's the number 93 Honda, to be specific. 201.570 for Josh Rodriguez. Robbie Sort of Asian on a screamer of a lap, though, so let's see if that does improve his time. Improving their time from a 203 down to a 202.982. However, that is not enough for Robbie Sort of Asian to take that number 1 position. Let's see if we can actually get on board with Robbie here to get a flying lap for y'all. Now coming up into turn 2. This is where drivers have to be fearless. Oh, as we do see a little bit of a ding there. I'll chalk that up to commentator's curse. As you can see, even one small little mistake and you're going to be clipping the wall. Oh. Robbie electing to take an ending of his qualifying lap, actually. So So let's move over to Josh Rodriguez. Keep an eye on the rest of the drivers as well, as we do see Tim gargle some water moving up into P3, the number 660 McLaren. Let's get that information back on the screen for you all. Oh my goodness. What is happening tonight? There we go. Now, Josh Rodriguez in the lead for the rookie standings after 5 total rounds here at Odyssey Racing League Season 16. With a commanding lead as well, so as long as Josh Rodriguez finishes the race tonight, this will be the championship win for him. As we move over to Martin Pilontase, the number 6 Ferrari. Making their way through the Conrad Strait, coming down into the chase now. Now, the rookies that we do need to keep our eyes on would be Jag Flores and Robbie Sort of Asian as well. So Robbie Sort of Asian still in the P2 spot. Martin Pilontase moving up as well to P3, which unfortunately takes Tim gargle some water out of the podium position there. So there is a two-way fight, excuse me, for P2. Jag Flores and Robbie Sort of Asian. Right now, I do believe Jag Flores does have a qualifying penalty, so he will not be allowed to qualify tonight. So that's going to be putting him in a precarious position. And it's going to create interesting battles here coming up and down the mountain. A couple of drivers still finishing up their laps. If they are on a valid lap, they are allowed to finish it, but I do hear the roaring of the engines of the pros and the AMs firing up, getting ready to go. Bathurst is such a windy track. The pros and AMs are going to be foaming at the mouth trying to get a good track position here for qualifying. The more clean air you get in front of you, the better it is here in the mountain. Hello, Christopher. Raceforge, yes. Raceforge Esports. Some pretty good drivers out there, if I may add, as they do... Do I hear it? Yes. I do hear the horns of war starting for the pros and the AMs, roaring out of the pits now. As we can see them battling for position, trying to get as much open space as they can between them. We're going to see maybe even a mini race between in the qualifying. However, they should know qualifying is not passable, as we do see a BMW taking the NASCAR line there. It's not conducive to a healthy GT3 car, unfortunately, here at Bathurst. You can maybe do that in NASCAR, but not here. Now, something we can talk about as we watch the pros and AMs start to get up into the spot where they're going to start acting like an accordion, where they're going to have to give each other space if they do end up lining up single file at the end there. Sean Mello, did my Gears of War livery not come out? We can actually check that for you in a sec. As soon as we see... excuse me, after qualifying, we can check during the grid walk. That won't be an issue. We got you. I got you, John. I got you, John. Now, as we do see Nate Schreiber start his qualifying lap here, some of the cars to talk about and keep in mind as well is the car in front of him, the number 111 McLaren, driven by Luke Lizama, the Trinidadian driver in P1 for the pros. And with the point margins that I'm looking at on my sheet here, it does look like Luke Lizama has to get at least P4 in this race, if not P3, to clinch the season 16 podium position. For the amateurs, it is a fight for P2 between Drew Jensen and Emmanuel Ramirez, so we're going to be keeping an eye on them as well. Something that you can also keep an eye out for is our Discord. We do have a Discord, discord.com/ discord.gg, excuse me, it's not .com. Where you can keep up to date on all of our information, upcoming leagues, of special events, endurance events. As well as our Patreon. All the donations and patrons that we receive go directly back into the league, server costs, prize pools. And I just wanted to give a quick little shout out to our patrons here. As we see Nate Schreiber cross the finish line, putting him in provisional pole 7, right now in the lead for the silver drivers. So we're gonna wait and see which silver drivers or amateur drivers, silver, amateur, however you like to call them, give him a little bit more time to respond, as we do see Emmanuel Ramirez, the number 157 Nissan, almost getting there. Less than a tenth of a second between Nate Schreiber and Emmanuel Ramirez. The pro times are starting to come in now. Chandler Williams, a 332 Ford Mustang, with almost a 2-minute flat in front of Tyler Carr, the number 3 Ford Mustang car in P2. Luke Lizama, the championship leader in P3, the 111 McLaren, is going to see a little bit of contention there for the lead from the number 332 and the number 3. And Timothy Jarubal, the number 531 McLaren, the teammate of Tyler Carr and part of RaceForge Esports, in P4. As we give a quick little spotlight to the number 331 Ferrari in P9 overall, but leading the silver drivers and in the championship lead for the silver drivers, Rob Obrochta for Goral Motorsports there, coming through the mountain, hitting Skyline, and now going through what I like to call the heart of the mountain, but everyone knows as the S's. Down the dipper into Forest Elbow now, as you have to almost scrape by that wall to just be able to keep enough speed coming down. Jacob Curtis giving a shout out to the Raceforge boys. So shout out to you, Raceforge Esports, as well as the Raceforge Esports fans in the chat. 2 minutes, 25 seconds to go left in qualifying. Tyler Carr now in the lead. 159.885 for Tyler Carr, being the fastest car right now on track. However, Chandler Williams in P2, still not that far off, 2 minutes, .052. Which will put Luke Lozama in the number 111 McLaren in P3. We are on board with the number 45 BMW driven by Chad McLean. As we follow him around the mountain, just a quick special shout out to our patrons: Matt Hugh, Julius Tan, Nicholas Woods, Abdul Raouf, Derek Anderson, Nate Schreiber, Joel Price, Jose Hernandez, Neil Bearvotes, Sven Goose, Jose Kaiser, Phil Priotios, Robbie Sort of Asian, Marcos Pimentel, and Dean Solomon. Thank you very much, each and every one of you, for your patronage. Without you, a lot of our events wouldn't be possible, honestly. I'll just put it at that. A special shout out as well. A quick special shout out to the Orel Stewards. Thank you very much, Orel Stewards. Day in and day out. Every single race, the stewards are here, trying to help you have a fun and clean environment to race in and show us your skills and abilities. As we see the number 31 BMW driven by Derek Anderson getting so close to the wall there, coming up the mountain now. Oh, and unfortunately, the mountain claims another. And that's gonna be some damage, unfortunately. The number 59 Porsche, the teammate of the BMW, Dean Solomon now. Oh, and that's the McLaren, I believe, was Sven Goose, taking a tumble on the last qualifying lap. Oh no. Our official qualifying time is over. However, we do have a overclock or overtime clock there. You can see it at the top right, max wait time. So 2 minutes and 30 seconds. If you are on a valid lap, you have 2 minutes and 30 seconds to complete that valid lap. However, it does look like a lot of the drivers have elected to finish their laps and get back into the pits to get themselves ready for their upcoming race. Checking their chickens and their mentals and making sure that they're okay. Excuse me, their skins. Just gotta make sure you're okay. So that does leave Tyler Carr in provisional pole 1, the number 3 Ford Mustang for Raceforge Esports. In P2, Chandler Williams, the number 332 Ford Mustang, followed by Luke Lozama, the 111 McLaren. That does round off your podium for tonight. We're going to go to a quick intermission. We're going to come back to the grid walk. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. I told you we'd be back really quick. Welcome to the starting grid walk of the season finale of Season 16. GT Americas, Pros, AMs, and Rookies. Your pole position: the number 3 Ford Mustang, driven by Tyler Carr for Race 4G Sports. In P2, Chandler Williams, the number 332 Ford Mustang. In P3, your championship and standings leader, the number 111 McLaren, Luke Lizama. In P4, the Race 4G Sports McLaren, the number 531 McLaren to be exact, driven by Timothy Jadubal. Levi Jennings rounds off your top 5 there in the number 54 Nissan GTR for Cerberus Virtual Racing. Robert Borchta, your silver leader, the number 331 Ferrari in P6. Followed right behind him by the rookie leader, the number 93 Honda, driven by Josh Rodriguez in P7. P8, Derek Anderson, the number 31 BMW for Backroad GT Racing, gridded up right next to his teammate and fellow friend Dean Solomon in the number 59 Porsche for Backroad GT Racing. Rounding off your top 10, Emmanuel Ramirez, the number 157 Nissan GTR. Always such a great car to see here, and now we have 2 of them. In P11, Tom Grantham, the number 161 AMG. P12, the number 169 Lamborghini Huracan, Robbie Sort of Asian. In P13, the number 45 BMW, piloted by the Canadian driver, Chad McLean. P14, Nate Schreiber for King Koopa Racing, the number 4 McLaren with the Bowser oil livery there. Such a great livery. P15, Martin Pilontase, the number 6 Ferrari in P15. P16, Tim Gargle Some Water, the number 660 McLaren. And with that, that is also your hydration check. Don't be afraid to get a sip of water. Stretch as well. As we do see the number 25 McLaren, driven by Sven Fly High Goose in P17. Right behind him, Ryan Bishop in the number 778 McLaren. The nice matte green, I believe. Is that the correct term, matte? Number 9 in P19, Drew Jensen in the number 19 McLaren for DJ Motorsports. P20, Ryan Chanley in the number 67 Aston Martin for C7 Racing. P21, John Merlot for Gears of Banzai, the number 85 Honda. In P23, Robert Logan, the number 83 Porsche. Followed by Mark DC, the 333 Bentley Continental. P25, number 617 Ford Mustang, driven by Shane Sullivan. P26, the number 13 McLaren, driven by Ian Demler. P27, the 999 Mercedes AMG, driven by Miguel Cizeron. Jag Flores, the number 34 Porsche in P28. Joe Price, the number 690 Porsche, the all-white Porsche with the purple rims. And last but not least, rounding off the last spot here on our grid, the number 777 BMW, Nicholas Woods for Junkie X Racing. Now, a great grid tonight. 30 cars on track. It's going to be one exciting race. As we see the drivers drive up single file, getting their tires, their brakes, and their brains warmed up. As this track will test your willpower. See if we can get a nice heli shot for you. So we have a 45-minute sprint for you tonight, racing fans, which gives us a 25-minute pit window. Drivers have a mandatory pit stop, so they have to stop within those 25 minutes and take fuel. Tires are not required, but fuel is required. Even though it's only going to be 45 minutes that the drivers are going to be battling it out on the track, these 23 corners here at Mount Panorama are challenging, to say the least. They will be testing each and every single driver's fundamentals, as well as their ability to not feel fear when they get close to those walls. As we see the cars now line up side by side. On behalf of Odyssey Racing League, thank you very much for joining us here tonight for the season finale, round 6 of season 16 GT Americas. We see our leader Tyler Carr in the number 3 car, trying to be the fastest car on track, passing through the last turn now. And now all we have to do is wait for that green light and that green flag to drop, and we will see the start of the season finale here at Odyssey Racing League. And there is the flag, and that is the start of season 16, round 6. A great defensive move coming into the first turn. Tyler Carr blocking off Luke Lozama, not allowing him to get on the inside. However, Luke Lozama with a way better exit coming now along the beginning straight now, side by side with the number 3 car, as we do see a couple of cars in the back go off, so that may or may not be a red flag. However, we're going to keep an eye on it, as we see almost 3 wide there in the back with Dean Solomon and Thomas Grantham. However, Robbie Sort of Asian slotting in very nicely there, 2 by 2 coming out of the second turn now. However, Tyler Carr able to get out in front, and Chandler Williams squeezing in there as well, getting in front of Luke Lozama, who had to give up that spot and moving him down now into P3. Levi Jennings in the Nissan GTR on the back bumper of Timothy Jodabal, not allowing any one of these drivers to breathe. Coming out of the first lap, all of these drivers like bats out of hell, driving as fast as they can through the mountain. Now down the mountain, Derek Anderson's going to try to make a move here on Josh Rodriguez. Let's see if it ends up happening. The number 31 BMW did end up losing a spot, I believe. No, he gained a spot, excuse me. It was Robert Rochta who ended up losing the spots. So Robert Rochta now in P11, unfortunately, and some damage by the looks of it for the number 4 as well, as we still keep an eye on the number 31 and the rest of the grid. Luke Lozama, though, with a great slipstream there by the Ford Mustangs. However, the Ford Mustangs are just going to be a little bit more powerful on the straights. As we can hear the screaming V8s of the Fords passing on through the chase and now into Murray's corner. Luke Lozama not allowing Chandler Williams to breathe. The number 332 Ford Mustang in second place, with Luke Lozama maybe making a move on the inside, but likes to keep his cards to his chest and not going for the move. Slots in very nicely there. As we look farther back, a move almost being made by Tom Grantham. However, he also slotted right behind the Porsche of Dean Solomon. who's trying to get a good run on the Nissan in front of him. As we also see some shakes up in the standings there towards the bottom. A couple of incidents for some drivers as well. Let's see if we can go back and get a replay of those as soon as the dust settles a little bit here. Oh, a little bit of a shaky Aston Martin in the back there. However, keeping it close on the track, and a car that's off the track. That looks like the Lamborghini of Robbie, sort of Asian. Oh no, facing backwards the wrong way there on the track. He's gonna have to wait for the traffic to pass, as I did see an incident there in the back. Oh my goodness. That is the number 617 by the looks of it. And we do also have the 660 down. That's the car, the McLaren, driven by Tim Gargle Some Water, being tossed like a spent credit card there at the entrance of the Dipper. Oh no. Ryan Chanley moving up some spots, making a move around the outside. Camera person, come on, camera person, get that. Get the angle. There it is. And getting the move done, actually. So Ryan Chanley moving up into P16. Robert Borchta using his Go-Go Gadget Extendo arm to get as close as he can to the Mercedes AMG in front of him. That is the AMG of Tom Grantham. So Tom having to defend against this pretty quick Ferrari coming up behind him. Keeping an eye on the deltas. It does look like Tyler Carr has been able to get a nice little cushion. Oh, and some accidents happening on the screen. Oh my goodness, that looks like the McLaren of Nate Schreiber taking a spin and unfortunately collecting Martin Pilontase and Jack Flores by the looks of it. So all of those cars collected in the incident right before Skyline. That's also not a very good place to get into an incident, because that is the only way to go. There's nowhere else to go. We will chalk that up to the Mountain taking another one. That is another kill count for the Mountain. We did see a battle-scarred and injured BMW there taking a shortcut in the grass. We're going to be moving over to this intense battle by the Nissan GTR, who almost completes the move around the outside. A little bit of door banging there between the 157 and the 161. So unfortunately, the 157 gets pushed wide, ends up losing 2 spots instead of fighting for the P6 spot. Emmanuel Ramirez now, unfortunately, moving down out of the top 10. Was fighting for P8 there with Tom Grantham. Gave a little bit of a flashy flash, signaling he's not very happy about what happened. However, rubbing is racing. The stewards will see that though. There was maybe a little bit of contact. If there was contact, like if the game picked it up, the stewards will be able to see it. Something that we can see is Joel Price in the number 690 Porsche with a little bit of front end damage there. However, that's not going to be deterring him from finishing the race as they do go through Skyline, and they see a white flag, which does signify a slower car. So that does mean that one of the other cars had maybe a little bit of an incident, as we see a small little bunch up there coming in through the last couple turns of the mountain. And they're off. A little bit of front end damage there for the blue McLaren. That is the McLaren of Sven Goose. Sven in the number 25 McLaren, to be exact. And a great slipstream there by Joel Price. Is he able to make it happen in the braking zone? He is not. Ryan Bishop making that McLaren wide as possible. It's the widest McLaren I've ever seen. Oh no! That's Drew Jensen in the number 19 McLaren, unfortunately clipping the inside of the last turn, Murray's corner, and that throws your car completely off center. And if you touch the gas at the wrong time, it takes your car completely off the track. Ian Demler in the number 13 McLaren, cutting off Joel Price here. Maybe getting a little bit of a nudge. However, Joel Price able to outmaneuver the McLaren and get past him there coming into turn 2. So that's going to be putting Joel Price up into P13. Coming down the mountain with a pretty good slipstream, Dean Solomon trying to catch up to Robert Rochto, who is trying to catch up to Tom Grantham. So a three-way battle here as our official pit window is now open. That's going to be opening up the strategies for these drivers to see when they dive into the pits. A little bit of a better exit by the number 59 Porsche, who's getting blocked by the number 331 Ferrari. Robert Rochto with a great defensive move to not allow Dean Solomon past him coming into Hell's Corner. And a textbook defensive move there made by the number 331 Ferrari. However, Dean Solomon trying to make a move on the inside. Can he make it happen? The Ferrari closes the door on his nose. No contact between them as they continue up the mountain now. And we do start seeing the blue flags fly, so there will be some cars that are being lapped that must give way within 2 sectors. Tero Rochta cheering on for Rob. As we do see, it looks like Josh Rodriguez allowing the other drivers to get by, so Josh Rodriguez maybe has a little bit of damage because that was 4th position, so Josh Rodriguez didn't have to let them by. However, that may have been the smart thing to do. As we see Rob door bang the wall at the exit there, so that may cut his top speed a little bit and give Dean Solomon enough speed to catch up. Oh, camera person, what? As we see some of our first cars coming into the pit lane now. Ian Demler coming into the pit lane early to get some repairs in and get that mandatory pit stop out of the way. Emmanuel Ramirez in the number 157 Nissan knocking on the door of the top 10. His gatekeeper for now, the number 93 Honda and Josh Rodriguez. Dean Solomon getting so close, he's able to count how many cylinders there are on the engine there in the back of that Ferrari. He's able to see into the engine port. And it does look like the Ferrari of Robert Borchta is going to be able to outspeed this Porsche here on the straights. 30 minutes and 38 seconds left in round 6, our final round here at Odyssey Racing League, season 16 for GT Americas. Right now in the lead, Tyler Carr, the number 3 car, specifically a Ford Mustang car. Right behind him, Chandler Williams in the 332 Ford Mustang. Luke Lizama in the 111 McLaren, not too far off from P1 and P2, but that does round off our podium there with Luke Lizama. So we're going to be keeping a special eye on these 3 drivers here to see when they elect to do their pit stops, because that is going to be most probably the deciding factor here on the mountain. It might not even be the battle on the mountain. It's going to be a battle in the pits to see who will come out first and out on top. Get their tires warmed up and start putting laps in. But an incredible season for the number 111 McLaren. Luke Lizama, the Trinidadian driver, in the lead for the championship standings. He is your leader right now. And if my math is correct, he has to get at least on the podium tonight. Or if not, I believe he has to get P4 and a couple of other situations. So a couple of other drivers have to do not so well. And that will give him the championship. If not, the number 3 Ford Mustang, Tyler Carr, might be able to take it away from him at the last second. Dean Solomon trying to make Tom Grantham sweat here a little bit. Move on the inside. Dean Solomon, is he there side by side? Oh, he looks like he was there side by side. From my angle, however, the AMG closing the door right on his nose, making it difficult for him to get a better exit. As we do see the white Porsche of Joel Price leaving the pit lane there. We are going to be seeing some blue flags now, since we do have some drivers doing their pit stops. So they will be a lap down. Joel Price heeding to the blue flag. Thank you very much, Joel, as we do continue, as we are continuing with the battle between Tom Grantham and Dean Solomon. It does not look like our leaders have pitted yet, so they will most probably be staying out for the long haul. As we see, most of the drivers actually have not gone into the pits yet. Couple of drivers inside of the pit now. The number 19 McLaren, Drew Jensen, and number 83 Porsche, driven by Robert Logan, taking their pit stops. Both naturally aspirated engines. However, the Mercedes-AMG, I believe, a 5.2 liter V8. The Porsche is a 5-cylinder straight gear cut. Our fastest time on track is held by the fastest car, Tyler Carr. 2 minutes, .202 is the fastest right now in race trim and race fuel. We do have a yellow flag on the mountain, so that may cause a little bit of traffic for the leaders there, as I do see on our track map. The leaders are getting pretty close to that, as we do see Dean Solomon still on the back bumper of the AMG. The AMG, a squirrelier exit coming up the mountain, scraping the sidewall there. Oh, excuse me. Camera person, we need to have a strict conversation with the camera person. They are not helping us today. As we can see how close the Porsche of Dean Solomon gets sometimes in some of these corners. Dean Solomon with a really good slipstream is able to make it happen here. Getting so close, goes around the outside. Dean Solomon trying to make the move happen around the outside here, which makes it the inside of the next turn, both braking heavily into the zone. However, Dean Solomon unfortunately cooking the brakes too much and hitting the grasscrete there at the end. So that's going to be giving Tom Grantham a little bit more breathing room, as unfortunately the number 59 Porsche just cooks it a little bit too deep. In the number 59's defense, I would have done the same thing. I would have tried to brake for that. As we do see, however, the 161 eventually acquiescing the position as Tom Grantham dives into the pits right after that. So that is going to be giving Dean Solomon the position anyway. That moves him up into P7. A battle between the Porsches, Jack Flores in the number 34 Porsche versus Robert Logan, the number 83 Porsche. We do see the number 161 AMG leaving the pits now. So Tom Grantham now in P12 after leaving the pits. Giving Jag a nice little slipstream there, coming up turn 2. Oh, camera person, come on. Sven Goose, the number 25 McLaren, side by side with the number 617 Ford Mustang. Who wants it more? Coming through Conrad Strait. Sven Goose able to get out in front of the Ford Mustang, but for how long? The number 25 McLaren takes it a little bit too deep almost, but able to keep it on the track in between the lines. The number 25 McLaren now moves up into P19, breaking out of the top 20 and now, or breaking out of the 20 spot through the top 20 and now into P19. The 25 McLaren flying high. All of our leaders, while we were watching this battle happening, pitted at the same time. Literally at the same time. They all dove. One after the other, after the other. After the other, after the other, after the other. So that is your top 8 now that have been able to complete their pit stops. Excuse me, top 5. The other 3 drivers now in the lead need to complete their pit stops, but if they have a high enough lead, they may make a contention there for the podium as well. Leading the race right now is the number 31 BMW Derek Anderson, followed by his teammate Dean Solomon. So that is a Backroad GT Racing podium for now, which is a great thing to see. I love seeing that. Emmanuel Ramirez, the number 157 Nissan GTR, rounding off your podium. However, all 3 of the podium drivers have not completed their mandatory pit stop, so they must complete that stop before the window is closed. With less than a second between the number 332 Ford Mustang, who we are on board with, and the 111 McLaren driven by Luke Lozama. We're going to see if anything develops in the next couple of laps with some upcoming traffic. Emmanuel Ramirez, the number 157 Nissan, has dove into the pit lane. That only leaves a handful of drivers now who need to complete that pit stop. Oh, the traffic may have worked to his advantage. Luke Lozama now right on the back bumper of Chandler Williams, who has to try to get around this traffic. As we see the blue flags fly, that is the McLaren, that is Tim Gargle some water. So Tim is going to have to try to give way while still continuing his race. However, this is giving the other McLaren, and by the other McLaren, the McLaren of Luke Lozama, a chance to catch up. It's going to be a battle of the exits now. Who gets a better exit between the Ford and the McLaren? Tim Gargles Water is going to give space now, and we're going to see the battle continue for the lead. That was the number 3 Ford Mustang of Tyler Carr that we just saw. That is your overall leader. As we do see both teammates, the Backroad GT teammates, inside of the pit lane now. As we see this battle continue to develop, as they carve their way through traffic, not giving up an inch. Chandler Williams in the 332 Ford Mustang giving it his all. We do have someone asking for an in-car cam for Tyler Carr. We can get that for you very quickly. We'll get right on that. As we do still see developing action here in the battle for P2. Both Derek Anderson and Dean Solomon left the pits now, so that puts them in P6 and P7 respectively, except Tom Grantham in the Mercedes AMG had something to say about that and puts himself smack dab in the middle of the teammates. So Tom Grantham moving up into P7, Dean Solomon right on the back bumper of Tom in P8. A squirrely exit for Chandler Williams as he tries to maneuver his way around the traffic that was there at the exit. Gives Luke Lizama enough speed and time maybe to go door by door there. Side by side, Luke Lizama around the outside of that first turn, making him the inside car on the next turn, and there's door banging. And the 111 McLaren makes it through with what possibly could be construed as a push to pass. However, we will allow the stewards to rule on that. Dean Solomon around the outside as well, trying to make up for the last time into the braking zone. The number 59 Porsche makes it stick with a very nice switchback by the Mercedes AMG, who was able to make himself stick onto the back bumper of the Porsche and make Dean Solomon sweat a little bit there, because he had a little bit of a squirrely exit coming out of turn 22, coming into turn 23, Marius corner, which is that last turn. However, Dean Solomon cementing himself there into P7 spot. And that's sometimes traffic gives and sometimes traffic takes. Unfortunately, Tom Grantham held up a little bit by the traffic there, so that's going to be giving Dean Solomon enough cushion to start being able to breathe lightly now. However, Dean Solomon on the back bumper of his teammate, so we're going to see how these teammates strategize their positions here tonight. Both within the top 10 as well, doing very well. Tyler Carr, your leader right now in P1, the number 3 car for Race 4G Sports, with a little bit of onboard action. with a damaged front end. The 999 AMG, driven by Miguel Cicerone, is gonna have to defend against Ryan Chanley. However, oh no! And that is a spinny topsy-turvy AMG, who unfortunately takes out the 67 Aston there, so they're both gonna have to make a lawnmower detour through the grass to get back on track there. I don't think there was initial contact between both of the drivers there, the number 67 and the 999, but it just looked like the 999 hit the grass there, and the AMG is such an interesting car that once, for some reason, it's that car specifically, but once that car starts spinning, it just keeps spinning. It's just a spinner. They call it the, what are those called? The spinners that those kids like? Yeah. Fellow kids? Yeah. It's like those spinners. And with that, our official pit window is closed, which means there are 10 minutes officially left in the final round of Season 16 for GT Americas. A little bit of a squirrely exit there for the 333 BMW, driven by Mark DC. Excuse me, not BMW, he's a Bentley. We'll start with B, and I apologize. Yeah, super big, interesting turn of events. The number 332 Ford Mustang given a drive-through penalty, as well as we do see the number 531 in the pits. So that's going to be throwing both Chandler Williams and Timothy Jadobal potentially out of the contention for the podium, as we do see as well Luke Lizama, the 111 in P4 now, losing out of the podium standings. That does move Levi Jennings in the Nissan GTR up into P4. Timothy Jadobal out of the pits now. That's going to be pushing him down. Oh, that's too many spots. Unfortunately for Timothy, that's going to be putting him in P9. Still within the top 10, but going from the podium to P9 is not going to make him a happy camper. Let me see if I can get the stewards sheet really quick here on my screen, because this is a very interesting turn of events, so I need to see if there are oh no, the 111 unfortunately taking a tumble. And that is a very damaged 111 car. Luke Lizama in P4 trying to keep it on the track now, trying to hopefully get back into the pits, and unfortunately collecting too many of the walls going down, as we do see more traffic coming up behind him. The teammates of Dean Solomon and Derek Anderson giving the McLaren as much space as they can coming down the mountain. And that is not something that we want to see. But let's see the initial yellow flag here for the 111 and keep an eye on what happens. So we see Squirrely coming through the mountain here, and it does look like maybe he's going to touch the wall here at the beginning. He doesn't actually, so there is no yellow flag for this part. However, oh, he hits the apex a little bit too much, and the McLaren just, you bobble a little bit, and it just like, it fumbles and it bruises like a banana. I don't know what's up with the McLaren here at the mountain, as we do also see a damaged AMG. So the mountain claiming names and claiming machines, as we do see the McLaren trying to get into the pits. And this is not a great night for some of the drivers here tonight, unfortunately. the teammates, the Backroad Racing the Backroad, excuse me, I keep saying your team's name wrong, and I am so sorry, so please attack me in the Discord, I'm okay with it. The Backroad GT Racing teammates in Dean Solomon and Derek Anderson fighting for the 4th position here. Both pro teammates having a little bit of fun here at the final round. Do see some more time penalties. That's 10 seconds being given to the 331 Ferrari of Rob Rochta. That is an interesting penalty. Let's see if we can get something to see here. So it looks like he was given a 10-second penalty for causing a collision. And yeah, that's... yeah, if you cause a collision, the stewards are going to be on you. A really big shakeup in the standings here for the final round of Season 16 GT Americas. We did have 2 pro drivers in the contention of the win here tonight, as we do see a drifting Porsche with a great save there. Dean Solomon able to keep it out of the wall. However, traffic coming up, so Dean Solomon is going to have to wait. And is that going to be damage? Oh, that is an incident that it should not have happened. And that is a number 59 Porsche, unfortunately causing a collision with, I believe that is Josh Rodriguez and Tom Grantham. So both of those cars collected up in the incident that happened earlier. The number 830, the number 83, now in a collision with the number 80. Yeah, the 83 and the 93, unfortunately also colliding there. As we do see the 83 still on the track. Excuse me, the 93. Trying to get down the mountain safely without trying to cause any more incidents for anyone. 2 minutes, 45 seconds left in our official timer. As we do see the number 3 is on top of the mountain. So that, in my opinion, will give the drivers around 2 more laps. And then they will finish the race here. Now, an interesting thing that could happen here. Robert Rochta, the number 331 Ferrari, in P6 overall, but P1 for the silver drivers. A 10-second time penalty to Rob. However, he is 16 seconds in front of the car behind him. That's the 157 Nissan. So as long as he stays faster than 10 seconds compared to the number 157 Nissan, that will keep Robert Rochta in the lead and the winner for the silver drivers. As we do see on our screen, this is the final lap, so the white flag goes out, and this is the final lap for our race here tonight. Josh Rodriguez, the number 93 Honda, your rookie leader in the pits, so that may give Jag Flores and the number 34 Porsche an opportunity to take the win for the rookies. But with 1 minute and 5 seconds to go, almost anything is possible. A battle for the rookie podium. Shane Sullivan trying to claw his way up into the top standings here for the rookies. The number 617 Ford Mustang. Trying to keep Ryan Chanley in the trying to catch up to the number 67 Aston, driven by Ryan Chanley. Robbie Sort of Asian right behind them as well. Some battle-scarred vehicles there as a diving maneuver made on the inside by the McLaren, driven by Ian Demler. Yeah, that's Ian Demler's McLaren. Commanding dive on the inside, and Robbie Sort of Asian losing control on the exit, so that throws him off the track as we see the number 3 car, driven by Tyler Carr for Raceforge Esports, coming into the last turn here, and that will be the number 3 car, Tyler Carr, taking the checkered flag and the win here for Season 16 GT Americas Round 6 at Bathurst. Your winner, Tyler Carr. With a pretty sizable gap as well. It's about 26 seconds between your winner, Tyler Carr, and the P2 car. This is the number 332 Ford Mustang crossing the finish line in P2. Congratulations to Chandler Williams. In P3, right behind him, rounding off your podium, the number 54 Nissan GTR, Levi Jennings for Cerberus Virtual Racing. Your winner. Your third place winner. Keeping an eye on the silver drivers. This is your leader for the silver drivers, the amateur drivers. The number 331 Ferrari, driven by Rob O'Rourke. Move on the inside, coming through the last couple of turns now. Maybe a little bit of contact between him, and that's the number 45 of Chad McLean. So Chad McLean losing out of the top 5. That does put Rob O'Rourke in the top 5 and crossing the checkered flag and taking the win for the amateur drivers. Even with that 10-second time penalty, Rob O'Rourke is your amateur winner, and I believe as well your championship winner for the amateur drivers. Congratulations to Rob O'Rourke. Derek Anderson finishes off top 4, your P4 spot. Emmanuel Ramirez crossing the finish line in P7 now. Your leader as well for the rookies who crossed the line without me seeing. I do apologize, but that is Jag Flores, your winner for the rookies, the number 34 Porsche. Also, I believe might be in contention for the win in the rookie standings, but congratulations to Jag Flores, your winner of the rookies. As we wait for the rest of the cars to finish off their final lap, the number 93 Honda unfortunately had a terrible incident at the end, and so that puts Josh Rodriguez, who was leading the rookies by a sizable margin, having to take a little bit of an exit through the grass there. Well, that does throw Josh Rodriguez down the standings, and he will be finishing P15 tonight. However, with the amount of points that he has acquired in the championship standings, I do believe Josh Rodriguez is your winner for the rookies in championship overall. And that is the season finale of Season 16 for GT Americas. Your overall winner tonight, Tyler Carr, the number 3 car, taking the checkered flag. For the pros as well, for the amateur drivers, Rob Abrorchta, your winner for tonight. And I believe as well, your championship winner. So congratulations to Rob Abrorchta. If my math is correct. It should be correct. Oh, I hope it's correct. And your winner for the rookies, Jag Flores. I believe Josh Rodriguez will still win the championship standings based on points. But congratulations to your winners for tonight. And your overall championship winners, congratulations to you as well. I would also like to congratulate you, the racing fans. Congratulations, you did it. We made it to the end of the season. Season 17 of Odyssey Racing League GT Americas will start up in about 3 weeks' time. We'll have our first round. We will also be sharing more information about Season 17 on our Discord. Discord.gg/Odyssey Racing League. You can join us there on Discord and keep up to date on all the information of our upcoming championships, our standings, and any other events that we do throw. That is it for me tonight in the commentators booth. On behalf of Odyssey Racing League, thank you so much for joining me tonight, today, whenever, wherever you're listening to this. My name is Christian Julian. I also go by Koju here. So don't be afraid to say hello if you do see me in the Discord. Thank you, and have a great night.
Starting a business. Double.